If you notice on that last credit roll, which was all the new people that worked on it, they tried to make it match the beginning, which was actually just shot on a shelving roll of paper with press type as we call it. But they even put a mistake in and put the wrong, so good, and they added that little scratch to the end. So I just want to thank Criterion again for doing such a great job. God knows. What would you like to know? Any questions? Yes, in the back.
I understand that this is your favorite film.
Well, I said that when I wrote Shock Value. I made like 10 movies after that. So they're all my favorite to me. I actually think maybe the best movie I ever made is Serial Mom, just because we had Dreamland in it, we had movie stars from Hollywood, we had enough money to make it. This movie cost $5,000 in 1969 when we shot it. So basically, I guess that's maybe, what, $25,000 a day. It's exactly like kids making their first movie on a cell phone, only we had these giant Auricon camera, because then this was video, so this is the news used to shoot film, and it was magnetic strike right on sound right on the film. That's why there was these long takes, and then it has to overlap 24 frames on each cut. There was no negative, there's no A and B editing with this. So this is how a lot of the early Warhol films were shot, and this was how really underground movies were shot at the time if you had dialogue. So I look back on it and remember, editing it in my attic with splice savers and like glue, and you can see the dirt marks on there. One they left in that one part where they couldn't get that big glob of dirt off it, which I like. Anybody else? Yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming out and doing this for all of your fans. I know we all
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. And I don't really have a question for you, but I would like to pass up a small gift for you.
Well, I'll get it afterwards, definitely. Yeah, when I leave, I'll definitely get it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
My favorite scene, as far as thinking back on filming the various scenes, and then thinking back to that, there really stands out for you?
Well, I remember my mother met Divine for the very first time in the scene where Divine is in blood in the one-piece white bathing suit when she's smashing that car. That was in my parents' driveway. And my mother said, well, come in, I should meet, I'll serve you tea. And so Divine was really as nervous to meet my mother even more, and he took his wig off, which made it worse, because he had like a man's head and a girl's bathing suit and high heels. I felt like, leave the wig on, don't take it off. But my mother kind of did her best, she was, oh, here's some tea, and that scene where he looks in the neighbor's window, I didn't even tell the people there. Suppose they were eating Sunday morning breakfast, they just looking in the window like that. So I never knew you were supposed to ask permission or anything. We just out and did it. And that was in Fells Point early Sunday morning, that last scene. You can see kids running out and getting in it. There were dogs running with us. The blind man cowboy, he was in every take. I couldn't get him. Stop, that's bad continuity. He didn't care, he wanted to be in it. Yes. Who knows? I had a big development deal with HBO to do the sequel to Hairspray. I've had a development deal to make Fruitcake. I get all these Hollywood deals to make them, and then they never make them. So who knows? I write books, I do art shows, I have speaking tours, I'm doing my Christmas show here again at Christmas. So I have a job. I really do. Yes.
So you've definitely been a very big critique of the political correctness movement. What challenges do you think you would face if you made something like this in 2016?
Well, she's asking about political correctness. I actually think all my films are politically correct. But this one, I know what you mean. Certainly, even the most radical Black Lives Matter wouldn't say off the pig today, really. And then that was a common slogan at every peace march, off the pig. And you think about it, things have so radically changed. That's the thing in it that's the most shocking to me, all these jokes about. And kids say to me, why was her boyfriend, was he on the news? That's what they think of weatherman. When he says, he says, I'm a weatherman. People said to me, was he? I don't get that. Was he on the news or what? Like, people don't know what a weatherman was, you know. So I understand that, though. It's you know, this was in 1969. It's a very, very different thing. Yes.
Do you have any other future plans for any of the other past works for high-def home movies?
Yeah, I don't think so, because the music rights issue would be so troublesome. I'll talk over this way. So I think not. I mean, I think we did a pretty seamless job with the music here, because some of them are the originals we paid for. Some of them, and we all had to be renegotiated. Some of them sound alike. Some were a different version. And George Clinton, who did all the music for Dirty Shame, did the rockabilly score. And I said, if no one mentions it, that's the best review you can possibly get, because none of the fans said, oh, the music's different. And it is completely different, almost, except for 2 songs. Yes, in the back.
Your filmography lists a black and white short film in '85 called Reckless Eyeballs. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Reckless. That was a film that I never ever made. I had a couple development deals. One was called Glamour Puss. Maybe I renamed it Reckless Eyeballs, but that movie was never made. I was paid by Paramount Studios to do it, and but it was never made. Yes.
It seems like in avant-garde art all through the decades, there's been a strain of artists that see them take themselves really seriously, and they want to be like capital A artists. And there's another strain that goes from like your work to Frank Zappa to Lady Gaga. People that are mature enough to not take them, they sort of take not taking things seriously.
Well,
Do you think that's legitimate? That's a legitimate comment?
That always sounded kind of pretentious in a way. But I did try to make exploitation films for art theaters. And you have to remember, when Bergman films first played in Baltimore, they played at the Rex, and they just cut out the dialogue and left the tits in, and renamed it The Sins of Monica, Monica's Hot Summer, instead of just Monica. So foreign films were the films that first showed nudity. Ingmar Bergman was the first director that showed people vomiting in movies. So these films were an influence on myself. But underground movies came out, and then foreign films, which I always say that, you know, when they played here at the 5 West and what's going to be the Parkway, and you would go see these movies. I tried to put them all together, kind of. And I saw all the Bergman films at Goucher College when I was in high school. They had a screening, and Janus Films presented it. So, and when I finally did show my films in Sweden, and I said that I wasn't the puke king Bergman was, and I walked home, and there was on newsstands when they used to put headlines up that said, I'm not the puke king Bergman. They took that headline and put it up. I have it still on my bulletin board. I was really proud. Yes.
Many beautiful breasts in this film, and Divine's big, beautiful butt.
Yeah.
No male genitalia, and when the the pyramids there, or the cow-genital versions,
Right.
you have the little stars. I mean,
Well, we had stars on all frontal nudity.